This week on Tech Tonight, Jesse Matthew has been arrested.
And Ebola has reached America. Find out the details next.
Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Hannah Martin.
And I'm Taylor Thiesing. The hunt to find missing UVA student Hannah Graham continues this week. On Wednesday, Jesse Matthew, the main suspect in the case, was taken into custody in Texas. Matthew had been living on Galveston County Beach before authorities found him. On Friday, Matthew was taken back to Virginia and put into jail. He is accused of abduction with the intent to defile. Also, new forensic evidence is connecting Matthew to the 2009 Morgan Harrington case. Matthew has hired an attorney, but there are no statements at this time. Both his car and apartment have already been searched. Right now, there is a $100,000 reward for information on the whereabouts of Graham.
In the wake of all too recent and frequent social unrest, law enforcement agencies are changing the way they approach their jobs. Police officers in several cities such as Norfolk, Ferguson, Flagstaff, and Washington are adding cameras to their uniforms. Law enforcement agencies reportedly spent $3 million on this endeavor in Miami Beach. Body cameras, or car-mounted cameras, are becoming a requirement for officers across the United States. The use of these cameras will hopefully help to diminish confusion about cases, minimize liability, and lower the amount of lawsuits filed against officers. The Justice Department said that the use of cameras had the potential to promote the perceived legitimacy and sense of procedural justice. This endeavor, though admirable, is not without complications. There are concerns about cameras being taken advantage of, rights of those being filmed, and the accountability of officers to turn the cameras on and off. Questions about data collection and viewing rights have also arisen. Heidi Lambley, a senior officer with 10 years of experience, said it best: "I know it's going to document the truth, and I want the truth out there."
Chelsea Clinton gave birth to a baby girl in New York on Friday night. Clinton shared the good news on both Twitter and Facebook. Her post said, "Mark and I are full of love, awe, and gratitude as we celebrate the birth of our daughter, Charlotte Clinton Mezvinsky." The gender of the baby was left as a surprise, and family members have said the new parents are doing well. This is the first child for Clinton and Mark, and the first grandchild for Bill and Hillary Clinton.
There has been a plethora of talk about Ray Rice and the NFL's approach to domestic violence in recent weeks, followed by major discrepancies in the storyline. From discussion of the NFL's policy on domestic assault to shock that Ray Rice is married to the woman he knocked unconscious, indignation is rampant. To add to the heat, it was officially discovered last week that the video of Ray Rice beating his wife in the elevator was in fact sent to NFL security chief Jeffrey Miller, dismissing the claim that the video was only seen a month ago after being released by TMZ. On April 9, 2014, a woman who worked with the NFL league offices called the man who submitted the video to confirm that the league had received it. Miller claims he never saw the tape until September 8, 2014. This situation has brought many concerns to light. Specifically, can the NFL be trusted to do the right thing when provided with evidence that something immoral has been done? An internal investigation is underway in the NFL, with no timeline as to its end.
During an interview with CBS's 60 Minutes on Sunday night, President Barack Obama talked about the ISIS threat. Obama admitted that ISIS is more powerful than what the United States believed. Obama also said that the terrorists are remnants of al-Qaeda in Iraq. The United States began airstrikes in Syria last week, and President Obama was criticized about his decisions. Last week, Obama tried to receive support from the United Nations in order to defeat this violent group. As of now, no United States forces will be sent to Syria, and it will take much more time than expected to defeat ISIS.
This week, America has seen its first case of Ebola. Though this disease is of greater concern outside of the United States, it could easily spread and become a national issue. The Ebola virus is on the rise and has already killed more than 3,000 people in West Africa and is now leaving its mark on Liberia. 150 people died in Liberia in just 48 hours. In fact, Liberia's chief medical officer has placed herself under quarantine in the wake of the death of her assistant from the Ebola virus. An American doctor that served in Sierra Leone has undergone an examination for the Ebola virus in Maryland out of an abundance of caution. Frontline doctors and nurses, regardless of their nationality, are at the highest risk for obtaining this disease. Ebola is spread via bodily fluid from the infected to the uninfected. There is currently no FDA-approved Ebola vaccine, so routine hygiene is of utmost importance. Individuals can minimize their chances of catching Ebola by practicing careful hygiene, avoiding contact with bodily fluids or materials that could contain bodily fluids, avoid hospitals that treat patients with Ebola, and avoid contact with bats and non-human primates. Stay up to date on the status of the Ebola virus and report to a hospital immediately if you feel that you are developing symptoms of Ebola.
There is more unrest in Ferguson, Missouri. A police officer was shot in the arm on Saturday night during a routine business check at the Ferguson Community Center. The officer tried to question a male subject, but the subject started to run. A foot chase ensued until the subject fired shots at the officer. The officer fired back, but did not hit the subject. The officer was hit in the left arm, but has already been released from the hospital with no complications. Authorities say there is no connection between this shooting and the death of Michael Brown back in August. However, the shooting has stirred emotions among protesters on the street. The shooter has still not been found.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn Webster.
And I'm Becky Schumar with your entertainment news. The Black Student Alliance and Virginia Tech Union hosted the annual Laugh Riot on September 25th, featuring comedians Angela Johnson and Hannibal Buress. Despite a slight flight delay, both comics performed a 45-minute set of their material, entertaining hundreds of eager students in Squires Haymarket Theater. Johnson, known for her outrageous characters on Mad TV, kept the crowd rolling with comments on everything from marriage to music to religion and race. Buress, of Comedy Central fame, immediately followed Johnson, starting out by remarking at his disappointment that the show had been moved from Buress Hall Auditorium. The two left the audience laughing and moved on to Texas and D.C.
Amber Rose filed for a divorce from her husband Wiz Khalifa on Wednesday. The famous rapper filed almost identical papers in response on Friday. Both stars claim irreconcilable differences are the reason for their split. Amber requests full custody of their almost 2-year-old son, Sebastian Taylor Thomas, but Wiz requests the court to grant him joint custody and visitation rights. Amber breaks the couple's silence on Twitter, saying, "I would never cheat on my husband in a million years. Unfortunately now, my ex-husband can't say the same." The couple has only been married 14 months.
Longtime bachelor George Clooney has finally tied the knot. On Saturday, Clooney married Amal Alamuddin, a British human rights lawyer. They had a private ceremony in Venice, Italy, with over 100 of their closest friends and family. The wedding was an all-weekend affair, starting with a boat trip through the canal Friday, wedding ceremony on Saturday, and ending with a civil ceremony on Monday. George Clooney's wedding reportedly cost $13 million. The bride's engagement ring was allegedly $75,000, which he gave to her in April, 7 months after they met.
Nicole Polizzi, more commonly known as Snooki from Jersey Shore, had her second child on Friday morning. The reality TV star and her fiancé, Gianni Lavelle, welcomed their daughter on Friday morning. The baby is named Giovanna Marie Lavelle and, according to her mother, has a full head of hair and is perfect. Nicole, age 26, and Gianni, age 27, also have a son together named Lorenzo Dominic. The couple is planning on getting married very soon, and Nicole says she has already bought her wedding dress. The reality star takes to social media often to keep fans in the loop of what is happening in their cute little family.
The ring for the class of 2016 will be revealed in Burris Hall on October 7th at 8 in the evening. Each ring has a university side, while the ring design committee works closely with a graphic designer to make the other side of the ring personal to the class. The presentation is free and open to the community. The night will conclude with a fireworks display on the drill field. In March, the ring dance will be held for the class of 2016 to celebrate their time at Virginia Tech and honor past traditions.
15 months ago, Paula Deen broke down in front of millions of people watching the Today Show while talking about her recent issues with the law. A former employee had accused Paula of sexual harassment and racial discrimination. After admitting to saying the N-word in court, she was dropped from her position on the Food Network. The charges were later dropped, but Paula was not her normal and happy self for a long time. "I probably should not have been here. I should have been at home or under the care of a doctor," Paula says regarding her breakdown during her last appearance on the show. However, her return to the show on Monday, Paula seemed to be back to her happy and bubbly self.
Victoria Beckham opened her first boutique in London this week. The gorgeous 40-year-old designer and mother isn't allowing cash registers in her store. Victoria says that cash registers are ugly and all transactions will be made on iPads in her store. This definitely fits the vibes of her boutique, which is very futuristic. This raises the bar for other boutiques and stores, which are going to be looking at their cash registers as so yesterday. This might cause a funny scene in a few stores as shoppers like me search for a cash register only to find that the transaction game is on a new level.
5 new nude photos leaked over the weekend of actress Jennifer Lawrence. This is not the first time Jennifer has been targeted. In fact, since the first series of pictures were leaked last month, there are now a total of 55 revealing images that have surfaced on the web of Jennifer. The pictures were allegedly stolen from her iCloud storage account. Lawrence's representative demands that the perpetrators must be prosecuted. The FBI has begun an investigation on the scandal. Many other celebrities have had their intimate pictures stolen and posted recently, including Rihanna, Selena Gomez, and Scarlett Johansson. Stay tuned for your sports news.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Well, have you tried saving?
Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hey, Mom. I got the job.
You've got the job. Welcome aboard.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Donate to Goodwill. Help provide job training in your community. Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank today.
Hi, I'm Rachel Thompson.
And I'm Tom Beto with your sports news. Baseball fans of Virginia Tech from Northern Virginia are brimming with excitement as the NL East Division champion Washington Nationals are set to begin their 2014 playoff run. The team finished off the regular season Sunday in stellar fashion with pitcher Jordan Zimmerman throwing the first no-hitter in Nationals history, giving Washington a 1-0 victory over the visiting Miami Marlins. Zimmerman's win caps the national season at 96-66, their second season out of the last 3 with 96 or more victories. The team's first playoff game will be Friday at Nationals Park against the winner of the San Francisco Giants-Pittsburgh Pirates wildcard play-in game.
In June 2014, soccer star Hope Solo pled not guilty to domestic violence charges. According to court documents, Solo's nephew claimed that Solo punched him in the face and tackled him. Later, she allegedly attacked her sister as well, breaking a wooden broom over her head in the process. Solo currently awaits a trial date of November 4th. In the meantime, however, U.S. Soccer is allowing her to play for the U.S. women's national team. According to Scott Blackman, the U.S. Olympic Committee plans to take action only if the allegations are true. Recently, nude photos of Solo were leaked onto the internet. She reacted on Facebook, saying it is extremely sad that her photos were leaked, and she feels confident that she will be fully exonerated from her domestic violence charges.
On Sunday, the second-ranked Virginia Tech women's soccer team beat Duke 2-0 at Thompson Field. After losing to Notre Dame last week, the team returned to its winning ways with goals from Katie Jensen and Muriel Tiernan. Jensen scored only 50 seconds into the match off a penalty kick, making the goal Tech's fastest in 17 years. Tiernan secured the win, scoring with less than 7 minutes remaining. Virginia Tech goalkeeper Caroline Kelly recorded her 8th shutout victory of the year and had 3 saves. The Hokies will now embark on a challenging 3-game road swing with matches against UNC, Miami, and Florida State.
University of Georgia wide receiver Malcolm Mitchell joined a book club full of women that are a generation older than he is. According to CBS, Mitchell wanted to improve his reading skills. When he was in a Barnes & Noble's one day, he asked Kathy Rackley for a book recommendation. She began to tell him about her book club, and he asked if he could join. He told CBS that somebody called him a nerd because of it, and he felt proud of the label. His reading has improved a lot since he joined the club. He said his proudest moment was when he finished the Hunger Games series in 2 days. Now, he's not just a star football player, he's a star reader too.
In NFL news, Monday night's nationally televised matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and New England Patriots in Kansas City ended in humiliation for the visiting team. New England's star quarterback Tom Brady performed poorly, throwing for only 159 yards and forcing 2 interceptions, contributing to the team's dismal 41-14 loss. The defeat, along with an already lackluster start to the season, raises doubts about New England's status as an elite NFL team this year.
The Virginia Tech football team broke their losing streak against Western Michigan, winning 35-17. The win came just in time for Saturday's homecoming game. Andrew Motopuaka scored the first touchdown on the opening kickoff, taking advantage of a fumbled ball. It was only 8 seconds into the game. This was the fastest touchdown scored under Coach Frank Beamer. In the third quarter, Marshawn Williams rushed for 114 yards, his first 100-yard game. Overall, quarterback Michael Brewer hit 14 of 32 passes for 178 yards. He had 2 touchdown passes and an interception. For their next game, the Hokies play the Tar Heels on October 4th. Back to the Hope Solo story. She is currently awaiting a November trial for her domestic violence charges. However, the U.S. Olympic team is still letting her play. How do you feel about that?
Well, this is surely a troubling development. She's such an inspiring person to so many young athletes out there.
Right, and with the NFL cracking down on athletes like Ray Rice, it's interesting to see what Nike and the U.S. soccer team is doing, and why aren't they talking about this issue?
Well, yeah, it really makes you think, why is the NFL cracking down so hard on these incidents, whereas soccer and other leagues maybe aren't?
Could it be a double standard? Who knows? That's all for Tech Tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel Thompson.
And I'm Tom Beto. We'll see you back next week.